So today's video starts off with, holy crap, I just wasted like 500 grams of filament. That's right. See that taper? That's not supposed to be there. This print alone was about 200 grams, just down the toilet. Printed out another one in hopes of a better turnout. No, it didn't work. And then wasted like another 100 trying to mess around with other prints and trying to diagnose the issue. Now, I'm here to talk about PLA warping. This isn't really a common issue, but I just happened to run into it. So I decided my best course of action was reach out to people online, get a few opinions on it, test it as efficiently as I could, and then display the results in a video. Before I start this off, I want to thank the Prop Tarts of Punished Props. They were the main guys that I talked to. They gave me a lot of ideas to test. And yeah, so let's continue. So I figured out that it was really the size of my prints that was causing them to warp. The uneven heating and cooling just caused edges to flip up. You typically see it with ABS printing, but you know, it just happened with PLA in this case. So I decided that the best way to make test prints was to make a long bar. So this is John's test block. It's just a 1-inch by 5-inch block of PLA, about a 1/4 inch thick as well. I just wanted something relatively long that warping would translate into, that I could then measure, and something that I could build a decent sized raft under, so that could be kind of looked at as well. So at the very beginning of my testing, I did a test print just with, you know, the same crappy settings I was using. Well, they're typically not crappy, but pretty standard, you know, default print settings, blue painter's tape like everybody uses. And I ended up with this. Yeah, that's really warped. I don't know if you could tell very well with the camera, but you can see clearly both edges are just lifted up, and you know, it's a terrible print. So I used that kind of proof that this is a good base to work off of. I could clearly see that the warps are coming in through here, and that any testing that I do with this model will show me if I'm improving or not so much. So one of the first things I tried was not using my fan. Somebody recommended it. You know, it's slightly better, but in the end it's still kind of warped. I mean, it's okay for like a personal usage, but I honestly wouldn't like sell something like this. You know, it's just not amazing, but it's okay. It's not too bad. The next thing that I tried was print speed. So lowering it apparently is supposed to help out. I started with just lowering it by 10 millimeters a second. And it still got some warping. I mean, it's not drastic, but it's more than preferable again. So I tried slowing it down even more, 50% this time, so I just cut down all of the settings in half. Yeah, there's a pretty bad warp in that print. Don't know if this would come out every time that I did do it, but yeah, it's pretty crappy. I wouldn't do that. If you're gonna go with the lowering speed, definitely only lower it like 10 millimeters a second, and even so, it's not amazing or ideal. So yeah, lowering speed, nope. Now, these two methods I found are both really good, practically perfect prints, but they have their ups and downs. Now, the first one that was recommended to me by both somebody in the Prop Tarts group and Makerbot, I sent them an email and they got back to me pretty fast, which is great. They said wipe down the bed with isopropyl alcohol, just used a little pad, put the tape down, and then wipe the tape with more alcohol. The idea is it activates the adhesive, and everything just sticks together a lot better. Now, I got a pretty perfect print, no warping at all. Corners are great, raft came out perfect. Like, I mean, it's smooth. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, the thing with this was it stuck a little too well. Lost my tape when removing this print, just got torn up, had to replace it. So that's not really ideal, but sure as hell will get you a perfect print. And the last thing I tested was using a glue stick. Now, I found this kind of weird, but apparently people do it. I just used glue stick from Staples on my glass print bed, and it stuck great. So this is the result. No warping at all. Raft came out perfectly again, just like the alcohol. But it was kind of hard to remove the print. I had to dig my knife under it, try not to scratch my bed, because, you know, didn't have the tape under it to kind of help with lifting it up. But hey, it worked out great. And it's pretty cheap too. I mean, I got like 5 for $3 or something like that. Yeah, and that's really all I have to say about those. So those are all of the methods I tested. I think going forward, I'm going to stick with the glue stick method, mainly because, well, glue sticks are cheap, and they'll last a while. You know, at my local makerspace, our greatest expense is actually blue painter's tape, just because we burn through the stuff so fast, you know. And, you know, I'm pretty happy with the result. Having to work to get it off the bed isn't ideal, but it's definitely a start in the right direction. There's got to be some way to make it more efficient or whatnot, but yeah. Well, thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. I have a Twitch channel, Facebook page. Make a lot of posts of or pertaining to not necessarily 3D printing in particular, but its applications for prop making and cosplay. I also do a lot of progress type stuff on my Twitch. I don't stream exactly regularly. It's kind of irregular. I'm working on that still. Being a student and all, it's not really the best situation to be in for that kind of thing. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope this helps.